The time has come to make a move. If you want to get into the college football playoffs, you've got to win big games right now, and we have a clash of ranked opponents coming up in this one. The Dome, home to the Orange in Syracuse University. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the Miami Hurricanes. Taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the Syracuse Orange. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the Syracuse Orange will go on offense first. And greeting them is a linebacking core in the business of disruption, tackling with aggression. Any suggestions on how to work around them?
Yeah, I think you pray. These linebackers are fast, they're physical, and my favorite part is they don't like people. Like, they are trying to make physical tackles, and it starts with them in this defense against the run, blitzing, against the pass. They're all over the field, Palmer.
Yeah, and I think for this offense, you want to be able to establish the run. I think the big key for them is going to be working the double teams in the zone game and getting into the second level. You've got to try and cover these linebackers up and get a hat on them. If you don't, they're going to run free, and they're going to destroy your game plan.
Wide open downfield. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
Syracuse with a major problem and a long way to go on third down.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Syracuse will be forced to punt. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. So Miami's offense has the ball for the first time. And last week, you want to talk about a guy using every tool in the bag from the running back position. David, this guy did it.
He was a monster. And I think when you turned on the tape this week, you saw it. In so many different ways, he can hurt you, and he can be a focal point of this offense. The defense, they know well and good of what happened last week. And their first objective this week, Palmer, is...
Oh, he's got some space. Nice job by this junior quarterback to get it done on the ground.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy, because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
Makes a man miss. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. Let's take a minute and talk about Miami. At this point in the season, you're probably in if the playoff starts today, but it doesn't. A long way to go, and the margins will be extra thin from here on out.
No, because if the season ends today, you're basically right on the cusp outside of the top 5, so you need to keep winning. You need to keep the intensity up, playing with a sense of urgency. For the second half of the season, David, I think that's a massive key for this team.
Man, it's so hard with young kids, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, to get them to continue to focus on the game in and game out. Not the rankings, not down the road. That'll be the challenge down the stretch.
Working a little foot magic on the sidelines, and it'll be enough for the first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Canes trying to cash it in on first and goal. Goes to the option. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Hurricane.
Man, you've seen the evolution of the option, and you've seen the evolution with scrambling quarterbacks that can... and be so dynamic and just so much to defend. The quarterback says, forget that. You defend everything, I'll take it myself. In for 6.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Makes the grab. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. Syracuse right back at it.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. When you reach this point in the season, these types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, and really show what you're going to be the rest of the season. How are you going to finish strong throughout the season? You know, the first part of the season, now getting to the middle of the season, Palmer, getting a chance to show what you're about so you can finish strong.
It's a resume builder, no doubt about it. And really, there's been so much anticipation building up to this top 25 matchup. So which team can control their emotions, I think, goes a long way in who wins this one. All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
Fires to the middle. Finds a tight end. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. They make the stop, but you can't give up 4 yards a chunk on the ground down in this area of the field. It's at the 18. In the red area, it's Hayden. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Expect some pressure coming from the blitz. A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Orange! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're going into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Rides to back and leaves it. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23. A pickup of 4.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Love the play call on the RPO, and you're just really trusting this running back to be able to make a guy miss and then get into the second level. The offensive line did their job, gave him a crease, but that was the running back making that linebacker miss in the hole before getting moved.
Ridden out of bounds at the 45, a big play for this offense.
And that's why, through the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
Breaks into the open. Got enough for the first. Touchdown, Canes. Once he got some room, it was over.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score, already down 14-7. Leaves it with the back. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry up, defense has to be ready.
That's caught. It's Hayden. Gets it out to the 38-yard line after picking up 10 on that one. Syracuse right back at it.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Throws to the tight end. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Taking it the other way. And after the turnover, out of bounds at the 12 to set up this offense.
And we've called his name a lot, and that's interception number 6. That's 6. He just continues to find ways to find the football and make plays for this defense.
Makes the grab. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
Now on the option. He'll toss it. Touchdown, Miami! How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option? The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
Miami, 21. Syracuse, 7.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Quickly trailing by 2 touchdowns, down 21-7, and really important to get something out of this drive. Makes the grab on the left.
Well, that's one the DB, I think, would like to have back. Out route, he was in man coverage. If he could have just got out of his break a little bit sooner, he might have had a chance to intercept that one and take it to the house.
To the ground, pull back. We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again. Throws to the wideout. Working the middle. And a good pickup there. They'll move the sticks for a first down. Let's see if they try to get another snap before the quarter expires. We've reached a break, and Miami is holding on to the lead. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. First play of the period, first down here. To the air on first down. Grab behind the line. It's Hayden. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. Syracuse right back at it. Gonna swing it on 2nd down. Pocket breaking down. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Caught close to the marker. It's Hayden. Ball down at the 38-yard line, and a big pickup of 15 yards there.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Makes the grab. It's Hayden. Well, will they dial up on 2nd, and a long way to go.
Well, I love the body control there by the running back. He had to catch that right on the sideline. Make sure he had his...
Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab. Syracuse ready to go to work with another first down. Using his legs, it's Hayden. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to pass on 2nd down. He makes the grab, and he'll hold it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Syracuse. just put it on his numbers. If he were throwing it at a front porch, he would have put that right in the keyhole. What a precise pass.
Right in the keyhole, right on the button, right on the face mask, whatever it was. Great throw, great timing. Nice job by the quarterback.
21, Syracuse, 14.
Coming out with it, it's Terry. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you got to find somebody that can make a play to create some. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
And the Canes coming to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. He's going to have enough to pick up the first down as they stop him at the 33-yard line. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Makes the grab. All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move. And the Canes had this offense rolling.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Power football with the run. Got enough for the first. He's out of bounds, and they'll say he got it to the 45. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Hurricanes back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Looking for a gap. It's Terry. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive. Stick your foot in the ground. Pick up 3 to 4.
There he goes. Gives him the big stiff arm. Inside the 15. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score.
And they executed that running back screen to perfection. Quarterback held on to it. He let the rush get to him. Offensive lineman got out in position, and the running back sold it too. Once he had the ball in his hands, he just had blockers and green field out in front of him. They pick up an explosive play on a running back screen.
And it'll be a short game, but no need to take a big hit there on the scramble. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. He's got it on the run. Touchdown, Hurricanes. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And you don't want to see this trend continue. Last week he was sacked 4 times. The offensive line, this offense as a whole, needs to get in better situations, get rid of the football faster, and not keep getting their quarterback hit.
That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Using his legs, it's Terry.
Love the push by the offensive line on that RPO play. Look how they just work the single teams and the double teams. You see linemen chipping off of their guys and climbing into the second level and getting a hat on a linebacker. That's why those types of plays are successful.
They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. And the Hurricanes really need to keep this drive alive on third down. The quick out. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Unloads to the right. Makes the grab. There was tight coverage, but a perfect throw and catch, and they've got it at the 9, first and goal. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offense is about to face the one thing that can stop it. Time expiring in the first half. Touchdown, Canes! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They are seizing control and taking away hope as they push out the lead in this Week 8 showdown. And they split the uprights on the extra point. They're up 35-14. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd.
14.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to...
Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. He'll try to take it back. Touchdown, Miami! What a play. Not only the interception, but the great return for the score. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner will be brought down. Trying to start the drive with a pass. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
The Orange with a lot of work to do on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to the big tight end. Catch in the middle, it's Bush. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. Looking to throw on first down. Got the quick pass. He works his way up to the 33 and is pushed out of bounds.
And these quarterbacks have to really trust their wide receivers that they're going to be disciplined and run to the right route when they're throwing that ball to the outside like that, because those corners are sitting there on the inside, and the worst thing that could happen is to miss inside and that cornerback get going the other direction.
He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. Syracuse needs to come up with a big third down play to keep the drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. It's caught. Finally forced out of bounds. Maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
Working that left side now. They'll immediately timeout.
Had any questions about this quarterback's arm talent? Now you've got your answer. Wow.
Syracuse might take a shot here on 2nd and short. Got a man. It's Bush. And he got enough for the first down, but somebody put the hit stick upside his head. Wants to go up top on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit.
Big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Trying to escape and get it himself. Turning it on. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet. One snap coming before they head to the locker room. Looking downfield on first down. And the throw out to the sideline, good for a few. Run out of bounds, they'll spot him at the 24. And in the closing moments of the first half, they'll try to put a 3-spot on the board. Absolutely center cut. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Tough to beat a good first half of football in a great town like Syracuse. And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis. And through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify.
He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Here's the pressure. Finds his man. It's Peppers. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down. The Canes can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Rides the back on the option to give. He picks up maybe a couple before he stopped right at the 30-yard line. This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. He'll try to pick it up on the ground. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. He now has 84 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41. And the Canes are moving quickly down the field.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Bringing the heat. He's in open space downfield. There he goes. Touchdown, Hurricane. And they take it in for 6 more points.
What a day. His 3rd rushing touchdown. And when you got your college fantasy football team going, this guy is racking those points up for you. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
And the extra point was good.
Syracuse, 17.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. They'll start this drive going to the air. Working on the right. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
Quick strike complete. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Less than a yard to go to pick up the first down. 2nd and short, maybe looking for a shot. Quickly to the tight end. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Syracuse ready to go to work with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. Snagged out of the air. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and for first down.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Back to pass. The short hands, it's Hayden. They've moved it to the 25, but now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got him downfield. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cuse. He has been surgical. Precision passes. Using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. And even after that last score, still working with a great big cushion. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Got the first down. Looking for more. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. And the Canes just got that huge run. They love another explosive play.
Yeah, and this offense has had their way with this defense, and they've had a lot of success. And I tell you what, if this defense wants any chance of coming back, they better get physical and stop the run, because right now, this offense is having their way.
The Hurricanes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They try to pop a run on the draw. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run. The D thinking bring some heat on 3rd and long from the 44. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Takes it the other way. Running inside the 20. And he's going to take it all the way back. Touchdown, Orange. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I show you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
31.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They still have the lead, but a productive drive here would keep it a comfortable lead. He'll pull it down and run. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To the air on first down. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Finds his back in the middle. At the 45 on his way. Running through contact. He's showing it all. The juice, the jets, the moves, and he's got it down to the 16-yard line. That big play has them in business. First and 10 inside the 20. Almost had the completion. Just missed.
And those are frustrating. Like, those drops really annoy you because those running backs are always asking to be more a part of the game plan. Get the ball more, touch it more. An awesome opportunity in the pass game to make a play, ball right in his hands, and that is a missed opportunity.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions, giving up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz. Because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
Now on fourth down, here comes the field goal team. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And now the lead is even bigger. They're really starting to extend that lead as they get ready to kick it away again. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. There's still plenty of time, but you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now. They'll give it to the back. Finds a little space. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Orange with a ton of options available on second and short. Quickly out on the screen to the wide receiver. He's got it out to the 37 after gaining 5.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the first down. They've now got to communicate the next play call. They can't substitute because the offense is going fast.
Caught in the backfield, it's Bush. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Syracuse might take a shot here on second and short.
And watch the offensive line here. They all block run. Because they're blocking run, the quarterback decides, oh, I got a favorable matchup. He dumps it out to the right, makes the right read, gets a nice positive gain.
The offense will put it in play from the 47 on first and 10. The pull and throw off the RPO. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. Chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Give to the running back. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? Syracuse right back at it. On third and short, they'll go to the power running game. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. The Orange converted and picked up that last first down by keeping it on the ground. Maybe they go right back to it. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo.
Oh, he's got some space. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost, trying to defend their own end zone. Wide receiver's going to get a shot at it on 1st and goal. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to find its way to the goal line. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on 3rd down. A 4th quarter field goal down by this much, that's a lot like putting a lipstick on the proverbial pig. Doesn't do much to change the looks. Got to score the touchdown on 4th and goal. Touchdown, Syracuse! Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
Man, 4th and goal, you're backed up a little bit after a couple bad plays, and you make the play. You needed it. You find your receiver, throw it up. He goes and gets it. What a play by this offense in a critical moment.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack. Get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
Now the toss. Breaks into the just plowing ahead. A tremendous run. He was full bore after taking that pitch. Just sweet execution.
And I feel sorry for this defense. Like, they're having to defend the entire field. QB's already shown he can beat you with his arm. Now with his legs and his decision-making, getting the ball to the pitch man, he's shown a variety. In this defense, they're having to defend the whole entire field.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? You've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
And the Hurricanes look to keep this drive humming.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Quick completion on the out route. He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after the big play up top. The Canes are in the hurry-up. Here's the snap, looking to throw. He can't find anybody. It'll be incomplete as the defense does a really good job in coverage.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Trying to bully their way in. Touchdown, Canes! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the 4th quarter as they go for their 6th straight win.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back. Knowing if they get down in this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. Weeks like this aren't tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. From the gun, running back gets to give. Makes a man miss. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. quickly complete. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. The Orange now facing a 3rd and short. They'll try to get the first through the air. Here's a heat. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28. Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. Off the play fake. Can't hook up on the long throw, and 4th down goes by the boards for this offense. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Quarterback on the keeper. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
How many times do you think they're going to run that one back in film study? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. It'll be a long film study for him. Throws for the tight end. Touchdown, Miami! And they take it in for 6 more points. With that last score, things comfortable here in the 4th as they are headed to a 7-1 record.
Nice job on the route and catch by the tight end scoring that touchdown. And it doesn't matter what play this offense calls. All game long, everything has been working. This has been a masterclass in offensive productivity.
The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance of this offense to really be productive. And last possession they went for it, they rolled the dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on 3rd down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Leaves it with the back. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Shoots it to the left. And he throws another interception, his 3rd one of the night. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins.
Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
How about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the 1st down. And the Canes are threatening in the red zone. He's got it and still on his feet. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. This thing got out of hand on them, but they'll try to finish with some pride here.
And this one was a beatdown, and there's nothing you can do about it because this one's over. Jesse, now we got to start progressing for next week for the rest of this season so we don't let one bad game turn into two.
Yeah, there are very few teams out there that won't watch game film.
Oh, there's an alley to the left. Finally forced out of bounds, maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it up to 49. The orange, after the explosive play, might go right back to the ground. Oh, he'll keep it on the draw. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down.
You know, we talk about quarterbacks having to make quick decisions, and I think you saw it on that play. Nobody opened downfield, and he just decided to take off.
They'll move the wide receiver. Wants to throw on first down. Gets it out fast. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
And listen, the defense playing really conservative, right? You got the lead, but here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get sacks. I got to get to the quarterback. Like, I got to make sure I'm getting him, knocking him off the spot. Padding my stats, by the way. Got a lot of sacks late in games and had a big lead, but that's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep competing, defense.
Tonight's final score, Miami